The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance was a huge moment in rock music history in that this is one of the albums that cut through to popular culture in a way that few rock albums managed to do. This thing was everywhere, especially one particular song, which we're going to get to here. Now, I haven't listened to this album in probably 15 years plus. This album came out, when was it now? 2006. So nearly 20 years ago. And this song, Welcome to the Black Parade, was freaking everywhere for a while. Now, my full disclosure, my favorite album by this band is Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. That's when I discovered them. But I remember thinking this album was completely genius and incredible. And I adored it. And I'm excited today to deep dive it, listen to it, comment along, and understand what are the details in this that made it particularly interesting and have the success that it had and translate the way it did to the mass audience that it managed to find for itself. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to listen along to the whole thing. I'll be pressing pause here and there probably, which is something I don't do in normal reactions because I've heard this album before many times. We're going to discover some new details about it. Now, the first few songs will be available on YouTube, but if you want the full commentary deep dive of the entire album, do join my Patreon page at Steve OG Rock. And then after I listen to the whole thing, I'll have a chat about what we've discovered over the course of this album and why this album is so genius in its own way. So that's the plan here. We're going to start off with The End. I don't remember some of these songs. I don't remember what The End is like. I remember moments across here. Obviously, the singles stick out a bit. Teenagers is a big one. I Don't Love You also is a big one. This Is How I Disappear has one of my favorite moments of My Chem songs ever. There's some riffage in there. I think it's in that song. Pretty sure that just, tickles me. So yeah, we'll check out this whole thing. There's some bonus track here. Hidden track Blood, which I don't remember, but we'll get to that. Okay, here we go. It's 52 minutes long, almost. The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Let's enjoy this thing again and see what new pearls of audio fun we can discover. And go. Now, I've already hit pause. Another thing that's, I think, important, as I recall from what I remember of the time back then, I was looking at interviews with them in magazines and things, they were talking about, they all went to some isolated mansion-like place, sort of like The Shining, and wrote this album there. And I believe Gerard Way, for the concept of this album, developed a mindset where he would embody the character of someone who had cancer, I think, and then wrote from that perspective. There is a song in here called Cancer. So it's a concept album of sorts, which was an interesting. I'd never heard of a band doing anything quite like that at the time. So that was interesting. Maybe that is something we can keep in mind here. This obviously the sound of a heartbeat monitor in a hospital here at the start. So let's go from the start again. And go. An acoustic guitar comes in.
Now come all to this tragic affair. Wipe off that makeup, what's in is despair. So throw on the black
and a piano as well, just the chords.
You might wake up and notice you're someone you're not. If you look,
there are great melodies in this album.
Like what you see, you can find out firsthand what it's like to be me. So gather round, piggies, and kiss this goodbye. I'd encourage
so expressive.
I expect you won't cry.
What a grand entrance. It's a real rock opera. You know what? Actually, sorry for the pause. 2006. This was 2 years after American Idiot, which actually, so going back on what I was saying before, this wasn't the first time a band has had a kind of conceptual context in this way. Although Green Day still did it from the point of view of Green Day themselves. I mean, they created a character called Saint Jimmy that was part of the story, but this was embodying a character. I don't. That's a bit of a rare thing. But maybe they saw what Green Day did and went, we need some of that. Let's go big concept. Who knows? a real old school sound, instrumentation-wise.
Contusion, my funeral jag. Here's my resignation. I'll serve it in drag. You've got
Lovely harmony there. Very different delivery. Great line. Really speaks to disenfranchised youth. Big sound. Ah, the harmonies. And straight into this. A tiny point I've never really thought of before. Sorry. So you got the guitar riff that comes in exact same, tempo. We're in for the next song. Is it the same tempo? Slightly faster, I think. But in the right headphone, you hear the sound of a flat line. So you have the beep, beep of the heartbeat at the start of the end. The start of dead, flat line sound in the right. I've never noticed that before. And the song is called Dead. So I guess that's the moment where the actual album starts proper, really. Cool. Lovely, musical touch to accentuate the concept. And it's swung. Go. Wailing guitar solo. Great guitarist. And if your heart starts now palm muted. I'll be here wondering, did you get what you deserve? The ending of your life, and if you get to heaven, I'll be it's so theatrical. Almost like a musical on a stage. And it still has the vocal delivery that you'd know and love from Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. There's a very unique character to Gerard Way's voice, and that is part of their success as well. Sound different. They could just sing this quite straight, but there's almost like a laugh to the da-ha-ha, which is fun. It gives it a whimsical nature. Harmony there. Beautiful. Got the hi-hat in between. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to go back to this. I love the fact that they've leaned into the offbeats of this in particular. It's not where the crashes is not in the one like poof ka poof ka. It's on the offbeats, kind of throws you off, and then when it locks back in, it feels really satisfying. You deserve the ending of your life, and if you get to heaven, I'll be here. And it's finishing on the floor tone. Long drum fill here. That harmonies of the second dead is awesome. And we're loud, and then suddenly just piano. And there's a fucking brass big band in here. It's so, their whole imagery of this album is like the big parade. And it has a bit of that. There's a sort of like, I don't know, New Orleans parade jauntiness to it. Fanfare, which is a nice conceptual juxtaposition for the idea of like you're dead. It's like everything's off. No, but everything's loud and jazzy. It's fun. Rapid vocal around the pants. Handing the guitar left and right. It's an oral spectacle. And that guitar guitar lift, that's kind of reminds me of like Looney Tunes. Like everything is sending it up to be sort of jaunty and mad. This hi-hat. Big sing-along. Guitars mirroring the melody. Love that. Man, I forgot how good this was. Now we're in the right-hand headphone pack. Just either side of your head. Fucking cracking song. So good. Now, this one. This is one of my favorite moments in My Chemical Romance ever. It's a small section, I'll point it out when it happens. But it's so satisfying. Good riffage coming up. Still building. A lot of hi-hat work here. There's a tambourine. Leading with the snare. Punches. Really just snare, kick, bass, and vocal. Guitar's coming in here. Ah, such a subtle detail, but the double strumming of the guitar, oh, it adds so much kind of percussiveness to that as well. Like, the rhythms in this album are subtly brilliant. Oh yeah, it's a banger album. Those big notes, he just fucking crushes. Drums sound great. You got a lead guitar and a palm muted strumming backing it up. So much ear candy. The lyrics, fuck it. Again, in terms of the ear candy, not just, like, this is where good albums become great albums. There are details in this that you can appreciate in future that you don't notice first time around. For example, they could have just had the guitars ringing out the chords per bar. Next chord, next chord, and they do that, but there's an additional guitar that's doing some like harmonized chords which change in a different direction, and the balance of those makes it far more interesting than otherwise. Choice of that bell is gorgeous. Actually, I'm gonna turn it off for the scratch. Oh, it's all right. Here, this is coming. This is my favorite part of the song, and one of my favorite parts of this album. It's gonna kick into the groove stays the same. It gets fuller, but the guitar is more that double picking, but it's the syncopation of when they come off of the palm mute over a 4/4 straight beat. That combination for me is like fucking catnip. I just cannot get enough. And the way it builds up to it, and then the payoff of it is just Like, here we go. Bass comes in there, Adding some fuller sound.
So I can't hurt you anymore.
Here we go.
So I can't hurt you anymore.
We're building to it, hinting at the syncopation.
You wanna see how far down I can
Huge! And then we release into the beat. It's the guitar here, man. And the fucking drums. Like that straight beat with the on to off beat guitar strumming. I fucking adore it. I'm gonna hit it one more time. Oh, and the vocals over the top. Belting. Amazing. And a subtle little snare double. Chorus me. So good, so catchy. Whoa-ohs in the backing vocals. Oh man, the fucking power of that song. Yeah, I flicked up the lyrics for a moment there. I was like, oh, maybe I should have the lyrics up because I know it's a conceptual album. But that's not how I appreciate music. I like the lyrics. I like them when they peek through the song. Great lyrics. You don't have to look at the lyric sheet. They cut through. So when that happens, I'll focus on that. But I find them a bit distracting, and I want to focus more on the musical details in this. Why this is musically such high quality stuff. Okay, next up, The Sharpest Lives. I don't currently remember that song.
Well, it rains and it pours.
Sorry, that's quite interesting in that this doesn't sound like a guitar. This sounds like a keyboard. Din, 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 din. Because every single note is identical, which you wouldn't get if you're strumming a guitar. It might be that they recorded it on a guitar and then put that in an editor and then just copy paste it. But it is so exactly reproduced.
Well, it rains and it pours when you're out on your own. If I crash on the couch, can I sleep?
Interesting choice here. So they got the main lead vocal delivering what you'd expect, but there's whispering backing vocals that are panning right to left. It sort of signifies the madness within the concept here. So I haven't really noticed this. I've not really actively listened to this. Well, I've not listened to it in 15 years plus, but I've not actively listened to it ever with the idea of like, what are all the different layers and things in this. That's an interesting choice. Quite like that.
Clothes, I spent the night dancing. I'm drunk, I suppose. If it looks like I'm laughing, I'm really just asking to leave. This alone, you're in time.
The harmony here.
You're the one that I need. I'm the one that you loathe. You can watch me corrode like a beast in repose. Cause I love all the poison away with the boys in the band.
16th notes of the hi-hats with a little open flare. Just rocking. They're great chorus writers. There's a low harmony to it throughout. Like, what an odd choice there. Like panning from the left to right. Again, just hinting at a certain kind of madness.
In the dark where the animals go, you can take off your skin in the cannibal.
The whispers are still there in the second verse here, going back and forth, but they're less whisper and they're kind of subdued, but there's more voice to it. There's a little bit more energy in it. And then here are harmonies. Guitars going back and forth with the pans. melodies repeat continuously, but the second half, little variations. That bass. Little choir moment. Menacing overall tone. Back into the chorus. There's a brightness to the melodies, but a darkness to the delivery. It's really cool. Moments remind me of Muse, actually. In the vocals, and also in the bass lines. Lovely. Tidy ending. And now, I mean, what's incredible about this song and how unique it is that if you hear the first note of this song, out in the wild, unexpecting to hear this song, you know immediately what song it is. That's such a rare thing to be able to do. They created an iconic start to a song. It's just one note. Boop. And the tone of it, the reverb on it, everything about it. There's no other song I can think of that starts like this. You know it immediately. Isn't that crazy? Just that one note, you're like, oh, I know exactly what this is. It's iconic. That's incredible. I mean, this is the opera from this album. 5 minutes, 11 second song. For a single. I think it might be the first single from this album as well. Like, that is punchy. Oh, this is going to be quite a treat. What I also love, I know, I'm sorry, I paused. I don't normally do this, but it's not a reaction. This is an analysis thing. This is not synthesized in any way. You can hear, there's a slight buzz of reverb when you're listening to this really closely. That sounds like the acoustics of the piano itself kind of resonating after each hit. Love that. It gives an earthiness, despite the kind of celestial clarity of the note ringing out. I love that. It's very cool.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city.
It's beautiful.
To see a marching band.
What a melody.
He said, son, when you grow up, would you be...
You got that marching snare.
Of the broken,
makes it grandiose.
The beaten and the damned.
Subtle guitar work, noodling away.
Defeat them, your demons.
Bass is on the one, notes.
The non-believers, the plans that they have made.
Some brass subtly in here.
Because one day I'll leave you a phantom to lead
it's
you
gorgeous.
in the summer to join the black parade.
Supporting that initial piano and vocal. Very Queen-like. Now there's more than one drum kit in this, because you've still got the snare is throughout, but we're also going around the tom-tom. So there's more than one drum layer in this. And the vocal delivery goes up a notch here. And it's kind of low in the mix. Like the music's almost drowning it out. A minute and 40 seconds in, the song hasn't taken off yet. And the tempo change is significant. Into the world of like pop punk here.
Sometimes I get the
crispness of that close hi-hat.
And other times I feel like I should go. Ran through it all.
Even that, right? That detail is so cool. The guitar there, like hitting those harmonics at the top, they didn't have to be there at all. You could just have a straightforward verse where it just palm muted the whole way through. But even that moment becomes iconic in its own way because it's tastefully done and it signifies that like, we're going to this next section here. So cool.
The bodies in the streets. And when you're gone, we watch you walk to
Fucking tasty guitars.
carry on. We'll carry on. And carry on.
I love this song. And not unlike the song I'm Not Okay, that repetition, belting out the simple sentence really works. Love that. Harmonies on this part as well. Subtle but effective. It's a simple drum beat. Standard pop punk. But the catchiness of the vocals really makes it. Love a whoa-whoa. And a complete different transition here. Back to the snares. Timpanis as well. The brass throughout. The key change. The drums. Huge. Back in. There's brass in the final chorus. I didn't notice that before. And some bells. It's like a full orchestral banger. Oh. The sustain of that huge note. Sorry if I'm shouting, I'm excited. Oh. Then the snare takes us out. But it gets louder. Boom, like a bomb. What an epic song, my goodness. So cool. Now, if you're interested in hearing me comment on the rest of the album as I listen through it, then do check that out over on Patreon. But this is fucking insane. Like, what? This is so well put together. There's so many ways you could fuck this chorus up. The drums, but it's not. It's super simple. I adore this. Blowing my mind. Oh. But now we're going to jump ahead to my review where I summarize that album and why it was so exceptional and genius. Right. Goodness me. If you're watching this just on YouTube, right, and you've just heard the first few songs, and we're suddenly at the review here, there's a whole journey that I just went on in the second half of the album, which I was not expecting. I went into this thinking, this album is, iconic for its time. It was very popular. There are some great moments in this, and I'm looking forward to hearing it again. What I wasn't expecting is I've not heard this album in between 15 to 20 years. Like, I basically, the last time I heard this entire album, I think, was in 2007, probably. I haven't really revisited it. And what's interesting about that is that at that time, what I wanted from music was just big, punchy energy. I was mostly listening to pop punk and like some driving rock and heavy rock and things. Not really metal at any point. But songs that are more ballads, like Disenchanted or Cancer even, or the oddness of Mama, I wasn't really ready for. I didn't really want it. So I kind of didn't really value it very highly. As now a 38-year-old man listening to this stuff, it's fucking genius. This album is exceptional. Every song is completely different from each other. The creativity in this is off the scale. The performance is amazing. The creative choices they've made, the songwriting, the melodies, the harmonies, the surprising shifts and changes in the songs as they progress. It's fucking brilliant. And it's actually kind of affected me emotionally. Like, I was not expecting that. The end of Famous Last Words was beyond beautiful. I cannot believe how much this album listened through has affected me. Honestly, it made me think of how I experienced Take Me Back for Eden for the first time. I know that's a fucking crazy thing to say, but hear me out. Not because I think they're comparable in works or whatever it is, and they're very different things. But the journey of this album is amazing. The consideration for the details is so well balanced. It's crafted brilliantly. And there is that grand sentiment of like, it's conceptually about kind of life and death and how we try and struggle through, and moments of like epiphany sort of moments of the grandeur of life and your place in it. It's got so much in it, but also just musically fucking fabulous. I can't believe how much more energy I have at the end of this album than I did at the start. This has completely changed the way I see My Chemical Romance. I'm, kind of floored by how massive an impact this listen through has had on me. That was awesome. They're so clever. And it's not just clever for the sake of it. Also, the song is the first-class citizen of everything that they were doing here. There were moments, like especially later on, where it was in Teenagers. The big hook of that is the catchiness of the chorus, melodies with the vocals in particular. And the drums stay the fuck out of the way. And that's what gives it a lot of that impact. Same with the guitars. They're not messing. They're not just mirroring that. They're doing their own thing. The balance of this is so finely done. It's genius. It is so brilliant. I'm now desperate to see this album live. I know they've been playing it in the States recently. I really hope they take it to the UK. Because this is exceptional stuff. Wow. I was seeing My Chemical Romance as something that like, oh yeah, I enjoyed that as a kid. You know? But actually I would have been 18 when I first heard 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. So I wasn't really a kid. Like I was, heading into adulthood. But I thought it was like, yeah, it's cool, it's nice, it's fun. There's a lot of depth to this that I've enjoyed on a whole new level many, many years later. And that has been a joyful experience to listen through that again and notice some of the hidden sonic details that actually elevate the piece of work here. There's so many cool, like, little choices that you miss on first listen. The madness of the concept delivery vocally, and you got extra vocalizers where they're whispering to the left and right pan of your ears or doing these strange characterful backing vocals and things that you don't notice unless you're actively paying attention to all the details. And that is what helps create the overall tone of some of these things. It is fucking brilliant. So cool. I mean, I don't know if I even need to do this is a masterpiece album. Generally, when I'm doing my deep dive albums like this, which I do from time to time, I've done some for A Day to Remember, I've done Bring Me the Horizon, I've done Sleep Token, I've done Papa Roach. Like all of them, I only do if I consider them to be masterpieces. But I hadn't recalled all of the other songs that weren't the singles on this album. So I was like, is it a masterpiece? Am I just remembering this, as being a momentous album within the rock scene? This is a masterpiece album. It's an exceptional piece of work. And I know it's kooky and odd and weird and you can have opinions about it And it's strange to have the concept, like writing this album from the point of view of someone with cancer. It's like, but you don't have cancer. How could you possibly relate? There's all of that discourse around this. But for whatever they've done and however they've conceptualized this, they've created something really, really special. It's so fulfilling as a listening experience. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely going to do one of these for 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Because that's actually my favorite album as I recall it. I don't know if it can touch this now. This was unbelievable. But yeah, I'll definitely do that and see what hidden sonic details I can pull out of that might have helped that album be what it was. Because that was a real moment, that album. But there we are. If you've enjoyed this and you are not watching this currently on Patreon and you're on YouTube, do consider going to the Patreon page, which is here. There it is. And experience the whole thing. Because the way I experienced this at the start, I enjoyed the second half of that album to an almost manic degree. This is like crazy how much I enjoyed that. That's so cool. Have fun. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know as well in the comments what other albums, notable albums from the past in the rock world, that I should be checking out that are masterpieces. You know, I want to do Linkin Park for sure. I want to do Hybrid Theory and revisit that in a more active, kind of analytical way, and probably Meteora as well. But we'd love to hear some other suggestions because I love doing this. This has been a joy. Look, I'm just fucking delighted. Incredible album. The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance is awesome, and I want to start it again from the top right now. That's how much I enjoyed it. So cool.